Uh, since we've just started, let me begin again. I'm Karuna Singh, Regional Director Asia for earthday.org. This is an organization that grew out of the first Earth Day on April 22, 1970. And today, 55 years later, we engage with over 150,000 organizations in some 190 countries to take the environmental movement forward. Today, we are particularly here to talk about the Earth Care Awards. This is the 12th year of the Earth Care Awards, which are done by the Times of India and JSW. And we are very glad to announce that this year there is a special category for youth. It's called the Young Climate Champions. And we wanted to share these details with you so that all you young climate champions can apply for this and maybe come out winners. We hope each one, we wish you all the best to come out as winners. So what do these awards need? It is very simple. Youth have fantastic ideas. You're innovative. You think out of the box. We want you to bring out these very innovative ideas which are replicable. Because, as you know, the world is hurtling towards 1.5 degrees centigrade global warming, and there is not much time left. So let's take it forward. Let's hear your ideas, because you are the first generation to face climate change, and perhaps you will be the last one who can save us by doing something to mitigate it. So I'm very glad to have with me today Kaustav Chatterjee from Green Vigil Foundation. He is a remarkable man who has worked with youth, and they have come out with the most brilliant ideas. See, you don't have to have big machinery to settle climate change. It could be a simple idea as well. And that is what they have done. And Kaustav, I'm going to ask you today to specially speak about your urban cities related ideas. Because as you know, India's 1.4 billion population, by 2030, it is predicted that 40% of this will be in cities. So how can we reduce that greenhouse gases that are emitting from it? How can we conserve the water that is used over there? How can we encourage the people of the cities to have sustainable lifestyles? And how to go in for waste management, circular economies. These are some of the thoughts that are part of the Young Climate Champions Awards categories. But today we are going to concentrate on sustainable urban development. How can we help this to be, how can we help urban areas to be sustainable? So Kaustav, over to you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Purnima ma'am, Dr. Vinayak Salunke, for giving me this opportunity to interact with the young generation. Basically, I'm Kaustav Chatterjee. I'm from Nagpur, and we form an NGO named Green Vigil Foundation. And I'll start straight away to my presentation. Is the slide visible to all?
Yeah, but you might want to go full screen.
Yeah, I've gone to the full screen only, ma'am.
Yeah. Yes, yes. No.
Is it full screen? Okay. Okay. So as I told you that we are from Green Vigil Foundation. And first I would like to introduce a little about the foundation and what exactly we do. So Green Vigil Foundation is a registered non-profit environment organization based at Nagpur, founded by myself and Dr. Kavita Ratan in 2010. And presently, Ms. Surbhi Jaiswal is the team lead who is leading the NGO as a captain of this NGO for since 2015. our vision is, Green Vision has a vision of shared sustainable future on the planet through education, mobilization of the stakeholder groups. The basic aim of our NGO is to change the mindset of the people, to change the thought process of the people, of the citizen, of all the stakeholders towards combating climate change, saving the earth. And we all know that the global temperature is rising. It has already gone up by 1.1 degree. We all know Paris Agreement is in force to control this to 1.5 at the maximum rise, if not possible, at least by 2 degree. We know the efforts, we know everything, whatever the India has promised and how far we have done. So what we are trying to reach out all these things to the common man and to make them aware why climate mitigation action is the need of the hour. Some of the efforts towards sustainable urban development, which we have been doing since 2010. Our NGO was established in 2010. Some of the basic efforts. First one is the Purnima Divas campaign aimed at energy conservation and combating climate change. Second, eco-friendly Ganesh and Devi Visarjan. I'll be elaborating these two efforts today in my discussion. So I'm not going in deep in these two things. Otherwise, we also work on school education program and workshop on environmental issues, conservation of natural resources, Swachh Bharat Abhiyan, engaging citizens to adopt segregation of waste and keeping city clean. And I am been appointed as brand ambassador of Swachh Bharat mission for Nagpur. Since 2018, I am the brand ambassador of my city. Other campaigns include Let's Make Our City More Green plantation drives. And you must be aware in your city also, during the development time, all the roads, at least in my city, all the roads are being made now of the cement roads. The tar roads are converted into cement roads. So what is happening? This is the negligency of the supervision cadre, or you can say the contractor or the laborer who is making the road. What they do, they just choke the trees. So we have taken initiative and we have de-choked of course, with help of Nagpur Municipal Corporation. We have de-choked about 9,000 trees of Nagpur City. The then Honorable Commissioner of Nagpur, Sri Avijit Bangar, who at present is the Additional Commissioner of Mumbai Municipal Corporation, he was very much concerned about environment. So we had a meeting and we initiated it that fine, our trees are getting choked. See what happens if you choke the tree, if you don't allow the water to percolate, then rainwater will not be passing to the roots. And in any case, in any of the developing cities of our country, the groundwater table is going down. We all know Bangalore is one of the most water scarce cities now. Any city you talk about, we are growing vertically. So more and more people are staying in a given area. Initially, where there used to be one house, 10 people used to stay there and one well was sufficient for them. Now 200 people are staying in the same area. We have grown vertically. So we are going for the bore wells and we are extracting water to the alarming level and the groundwater table going down. So from where the trees will be getting water if we choke them from the top. So we de-choked about 9,000 trees of Nagpur City. We also fight against illegal tree felling. We saved around 900 trees. And you will also find this can also be a very urban development. We worked on it that the trees can't speak. So the best way to put your advertisement of the trees, people come and nail their advertisement on the trees. It's free. So they do it. So what we do, we take out these nails and take out the advertisements. Unfortunately, all the details of the advertiser, the person who harmed the tree, his all details are there in the advertisement. We take it to Nagpur Municipal Corporation and they are then fined for nailing the tree. We have citizen outreach campaigns for adopting green living practices. Of course, we have a lot of campaign for eradicating single-use plastic, reaching out citizens for water sustainability. We also worked on water monitoring campaigns that also I'll be touching today. And at the end, we have a very young, energetic group of youth. So we do street plays on various environmental issues. So we believe that instead of saying, if you act, it has more impact. And the person just move. Today's life, everybody's moving, everybody's walking, they don't have time. So if you convey something through in the means of a street play, you get more attention, people stop for some time. And if you can act well, then they do wait for some time more if you're acting well. So today, we'll be highlighting two of our campaigns, which we have been doing in Nagpur City. Nagpur is the second capital of Maharashtra with a population of around 40 lakhs. And we are situated exactly at the center of India. We have a 0-mile spot also. Undivided, if you draw a perpendicular line and a horizontal line in undivided India, then it passes through Nagpur. So this Purnima Divas campaign, this we have been doing since 2014, and you can replicate it in any of the city. It is the need of the hour. What is this Purnima Divas campaign? This is aimed at lowering carbon emission through energy conservation, a step towards climate action. How did it work? The campaign was first initiated by ex-mayor of Nagpur, Mr. Anil Sole, who later became MLC. And the campaign we started this campaign since 2014. The concept is inspired by Earth Hour campaign. We all know in Earth Hour, in the last Saturday or the second last Saturday of March, for 1 hour from 8:30 to 9:30, they switch off the unessential electrical appliances, mainly the lights, to show commitment towards energy conservation and climate action. माननीय अनिल सोले जब हमारे महापौर थे, जब उनके साथ हमने अर्थ आवर के बारे में चर्चा करी, तो उनको ये आइडिया हमने दिया कि साल में एक बार ये करने से उतना इम्पैक्ट नहीं होगा, हमें ये रेगुलरली करना पड़ेगा, लोगों को जागरूक करते रहना पड़ेगा. सो ये डिसाइड हुआ कि नागपुर म्युनिसिपल कॉर्पोरेशन एंड ग्रीन विजिल फाउंडेशन पूर्णिमा दिवस मनाएंगे. वाई पूर्णिमा दिवस? क्योंकि पूर्णिमा के दिन चांद की रोशनी तेज रहती है, थोड़ा ज्यादा लाइट रहता है. सो इस कैंपेन के अंतर्गत नागपुर म्युनिसिपल कॉर्पोरेशन एवरी मंथ on the full moon night, that is Purnima day, Nagpur Municipal Corporation selects a square, and Green Vigil Foundation team along with Nagpur Municipal Corporation team, we reach out the residents, we reach out the shopkeepers, we reach out the beggar to millionaire, whosoever stays there. We reach out to them and explain them the necessity to conserve energy, lowering carbon footprints, natural resource conservation, and switching over to renewable source of energy. Citizens are appealed to switch off non-essential electrical appliances for 1 hour. सिर्फ 1 घंटे के लिए हम लोगों को बोलते हैं कि 8 बजे से 9 बजे तक कृपया जो आपकी जरूरत नहीं है जिस लाइट की, वो लाइट आप बंद कर दीजिए, वो इलेक्ट्रिकल अप्लायंसेस बंद कर दीजिए। कोई दुकान में अगर 30 लाइट्स जल रही है, तो हम उनसे रिक्वेस्ट करते हैं कि 30 में से कृपया 1 घंटे के लिए आप 15 लाइट्स ऑफ कर दीजिए। बहुत छोटी सी बात है, लोग कर सकते हैं।
Kaustav,
या
Kaustav,
मैडम।
if I may just interrupt you, I think what is very brilliant about Purnima Divas is how scientifically you have, taken the luminosity of the moonlight and
या मैडम।
seen how lights in the Nagpur Municipal Corporation area could be lowered to take advantage of the luminosity of light. So this was just a very, very brilliant idea you people had.
थैंक यू।
That, how do you scientifically measure, and then according to what the luminosity of the moonlight is, you have the corporation lower the luminosity of the street lights. I think this is what I consider an absolutely brilliant idea. It is nothing else but an idea, but this idea I know has helped you save or help the municipal corporation save so many thousands kilowatts of energy. So, could you
Exactly.
tell us a little bit more about how much energy got saved with
Yeah, we have
this?
that. Yeah, sure, sure, sure.
How much that is, because that is what was one very brilliant idea.
Right, ma'am. And
Yeah.
how
So, could you?
how Nagpur Municipal Corporation is doing it, they know that this Purnima, we are selecting, say, Panchashil Square. So at Panchashil Square, what is the power consumption? They measure it for 2-3 days prior to this campaign. They take a mean of that. And during the campaign, during that particular hour, 8 to 9, they again measure it. And the difference, they counted that this much energy saved on that particular day for that 1 hour. Now I will show you, and during this campaign, as Madam said, Nagpur Municipal Corporation, they dim the street lights also.
Yeah.
So in Nagpur, they are all LED lights and they are all sensor fitted lights. Means in any case, we have it in Nagpur that during the midnight, the intensity of the light gets decreased automatically, because there are sensors that say the intensity of the light from, say, at 10 p.m. will be much higher as compared to 3 p.m., 3 a.m. That depends on the need and the population on the road. So this already censored. So what Nagpur Municipal Corporation does, during that 1 hour, they dim the light of that particular area. So people can see, and it's a feeling. ये एक उत्सव बन जाता है कि अरे आज इस चौक में है, ओके। शाम को लाइट्स डिम हो गए नागपुर म्युनिसिपल कॉर्पोरेशन की तरफ से, काफी लोग इसमें लाइट्स ऑफ करते हैं, काफी दुकानदार बंद करते हैं। हम तो कह रहे हैं भाई कि आप नॉन एसेंशियल लाइट्स बंद करिए। लोग तो पूरे 1 घंटा साथ देने के लिए पूरे लाइट्स ही ऑफ कर देते हैं, जो लोग साथ देना चाहते हैं। सो दिस इज द फिगर till now during Purnima Divas campaign from January 2014 to December 2024, 22,53,201 units of electricity have been saved. Now you can see, for generating 1 unit of electricity, you need 7.5 liters of water. So if you are saving 2,53,201 units of electricity, you are saving so much of water. If for producing 1 unit of electricity, you need 0.5 kg of coal. And most of our thermal power plants in India are coal-fired plants as on date. Though today in Union budget, Honorable Finance Minister have given a shift to the renewable source of energy. There is a commitment of generating about 100 gigawatt renewable source of energy by 2028. But the fact remains, as on date, most of our plants are coal-based. And the most interestingly and most importantly, when you generate 1 unit of electricity, you emit 1 kg of CO2. So Nagpur, by saving 2,53,201 units of electricity, have saved 2,53,201 kg of carbon emission. गौर करने की बात है कि पेरिस एग्रीमेंट में भारत ने रेटिफाई किया 2016 में कि हम कार्बन उत्सर्जन को कम करेंगे। 2014 के पहले हम बहुत ज्यादा पर्यावरण के बारे में उतना ज्यादा हमारे में जागरूकता थी नहीं। उसका प्रमाण यही है कि 2014 तक हमारे पास सोलर एनर्जी का बेस 2.63 गीगावाट था, जो आज 72 गीगावाट के करीब पहुंच गया है। तो पर नागपुर 2014 से कार्बन एमिशन को कम करने के रास्ते पे अग्रसर हो रहा है। एंड हाउ डज इट हैपन, ये देखिए, दिस इज द वे। आप देख सकते हैं, there are various squares of Nagpur, Devnagar Square, Panchashil Square, Kida Square, Manewada Square. अलग अलग जगहों में हम लोगों को बात करते, लोगों से समझाते। We get divided into multiple teams. In first photograph, you can see our team lead Surbi Jaswal interacting. In the second one, I am interacting. And this gentleman, Panchashil Square, he is from Parek Opticals. He becomes so impressed that he calls me and tells me कि बॉस, मैं खुद होके हमारे अपने तरफ से महीने में एक दिन 8 से 9 मेरे शॉप के मैक्सिमम लाइट्स बंद करता हूं, irrespective of whether Purnima Divas is happening in his area or not. You can see in the next one, Manewara Square, Mr. Mehul Kosurkar is leading that team. Then you have Parth Zumre in the Krira Square. So this is where we go ahead, we interact with people in Mangalmurti Square, Narendranagar Square, Somalwada Square. And these are our teammates. They go at various squares, interact with people, shopkeepers. And this is how the Purnima Divas campaign happens. And this is what Dainik Bhaskar wrote. And the caption goes, Modi ने ऊर्जा बचत की उम्मीद जताई थी और हमने कर दिखाया. And this is a statement of Mr. Anil Sole and my statement. And I'm very happy to tell you that this campaign was highlighted by Honorable Narendra Modi in his speech during Teachers' Day, that मैं नागपुर गया था, वहां के मेयर से मिला, और बहुत ही सिंपल ये कैंपेन नागपुर में चलाया जा रहा है, जो हर शहर में हो सकता है, हर आदमी आगे आके इसको रिप्लिका कर सकता है. This was done when this was published in 2016 and it started in 2014, and it is written here 35 महीने की महाबचत, 85,000 यूनिट से अधिक बिजली बचाई. That time only it was 85,000 in 2 years. 2014 it started, 14, 15, 16, 3 years, sorry. And how much coal was saved, everything was highlighted by Dainik Bhaskar. They made a lead story on this campaign. Times of India also have covered, Lokmat have covered, everybody. Maharashtra Times, Lokshai Varta, Navbharat Times, Navbharat. And here you can see our team visiting to residents, to the offices. Offices are normally closed, to the shops, to the restaurants, even to the street vendors, So this is one campaign which I wanted to highlight.
Kaustavji, I want to come back to one thing. See, it is easy for people to switch off lights and save. That is not the brilliance of your idea. The brilliance of your idea is that you have used the moonlight, taken advantage of a natural resource. Correct. To save electricity. So there is where your absolute brilliance lies. It is just the idea that moonlight is given to all of us freely, no charges for it. Why are we not using that brilliance of the moonlight to dim our lights to match it? That is where your absolute brilliance comes. So it was just this idea of scientifically measuring the moonlight and dimming your lights to match it so that the luminosity that is needed remains the same. That doesn't get reduced. So that
Correct.
I really commend you for this very brilliant idea. And as the Young Climate Champions Awards are looking for ideas like this, where not much is needed, just some scientific data to tell you how much is the luminosity of the moonlight and by how much then can the municipal corporation reduce or dim its lights. So these are the ideas that the Young Climate Champions Awards are looking for. And we hope that all the youth who are listening into this it will start their minds ticking onto ideas that they can bring forth, the innovative ideas that they can bring forth that are replicable. Now, if the moonlight is there in Nagpur, there is the same type of moonlight in Delhi or Calcutta or Bombay or Bangalore or anywhere else, you say. So
True.
why not take the help of scientific data to measure it and go
The
to your
intensity.
municipal corporation and say, look, you will not only by dimming your lights, you will also save money. Beside the fact that environmentally it will be friendly, there will be less emissions, so much less coal will be used, so much less water will be used. But the municipal corporation will also lower its bills. So these are ideas that we want youth to come out with, and you are an inspiration for that. That's why we really want to thank you for coming forth with such ideas. You're absolutely brilliant. Who would have thought of it? We just take advantage of the fact that there is moonlight. But
Moonlight,
who
yeah.
thought that we can use that moonlight to lower our need for supplies? So thank you. This idea is absolutely brilliant.
Thank you so much.
You had another idea also about Visarjan,
Yeah, that's
which
I'm coming to.
again can be replicated all over India. We
All
we
over
all
India, yeah.
have Visarjan. Yes, please tell us about that.
Now, this is eco-friendly Ganesh Visarjan aimed at conservation of surface water bodies. Mainly in Nagpur, it is the lakes, because we have 11 lakes in Nagpur and we have 3 rivers, but these are very small rivers. And we call it river, but unfortunately, more than the water, unfortunately, it's carrying the sewage of the Nagpur city. So, what is this idea about the genesis? The genesis is Om Shri Ganpati Puja is a huge religious festival in Maharashtra. And around more than 1.5 lakhs, I repeat, more than 1.5 lakhs of idols घरों में स्थापित होता है. And there are around 1500 big idols जो मंडलों में स्थापित होता है. Community festival. The unfortunate part was most of the household idols, around more than 1.5 to 2 lakhs, they are made up of plaster of Paris. And unfortunately, there is no ban on making anything out of plaster of Paris. But in Maharashtra, there is a ban on immersing the idol made of plaster of Paris in natural water. But the ban came just recently. I'm talking to you about the status of 2010, 15 years back. All around 1.5 lakhs of idols जो घरों में स्थापित किया गया गणपति बप्पा को, most of them are plaster of Paris. और गणपति विसर्जन जिस दिन बप्पा स्थापित हुए, from the next day to 10 days, गणपति विसर्जन होता है, 1.5 दिन की गणपति, 2 दिन की, 3, ऐसा पूरा विसर्जन होता है, और सारे मूर्तियों का विसर्जन तालाब में होता है. Immersion in huge number of these idols along with Nirmalya into the lakes resulted in depleted, dissolved oxygen level in water bodies. And due to above reason, the condition of the water bodies were deteriorating like anything. It was a real threat of the aquatic life. Green Vigil Foundation, we used to conduct, and we are still conducting, scientific water monitoring studies to analyze the impact of idle immersion in lakes of Nagpur City. We collect samples from various lakes prior to Ganpati Visarjan, and we also collect sample after Ganpati Visarjan, then after Devi Visarjan, and throughout the year. And what alarmingly we have found is, other than the other parameters, the dissolved oxygen, which should be around 5 milligram per liter, which is there in the pre-Ganpati Visarjan, dips down to 2.5 to 3 milligram per liter. And you are aware, if it goes below 2 milligram per liter, then it will be very detrimental to aquatic ecosystem. So this was the problem. Every lake, by its self-rejuvenating capacity, somehow breathe and comes to normal in the month of, say, June, and in August again we have Ganpati Visarjan. So this was the problem. And see, this is the condition of the lake after Ganpati Visarjan. This is the photograph of Futala Lake, the most happening lake of Nagpur City. We call it a Nagpur ki Chaupati. This is the way. This was the condition. So this is our water monitoring activities. In the first photograph, you can see our another founder, Dr. Kavita Ratan. And we go to lakes, we collect samples, we analyze. In the second and third photograph, you can see me and Surbhi Jaswal. And we collect sample from the bank, we collect sample from the middle, we collect sample from across the lake, and to analyze what is the impact. This, you can see, this is pre-Ganpati Visarjan water monitoring. And based on our report, this is the fact in front of you. The Times of India reported Futala Lake hit hard by idle immersions again. The word is again. It's every year it is happening. Dissolved oxygen, turbidity, pH value slides. In the photograph, you can see Surbhi Jaswal, our team lead, and Mehul Kosurkar, our deputy team lead. And they have also given a photograph of the lake also. This is Dainik Bhaskar, who writes, Futala में ऑक्सीजन की मात्रा 2.5 पे पहुंची. Dissolved oxygen dipped down to 2.5, जबकि जलीय जीवों के लिए 4 होना जरूरी है. And that too, सिर्फ 5,000 मूर्तियों ने किया ये हाल. So, we have been trying to convince citizens since 2010 that don't pollute the lakes with idle immersion and Nirmalya immersion. But we realized that only preaching will not be effective. And it was not effective, frankly speaking. From 2010 to 2014, we were going down door to door, but कुछ नहीं हो रहा था. क्योंकि हमने ये realize किया कि आपको alternative solution देना पड़ेगा. मामला आस्था की है. बप्पा विराजेंगे तो बप्पा का विसर्जन तो होना है, और वो जल में ही होना है. वो कॉन्सेप्ट कि भाई आप मिट्टी के प्लास्टर ऑफ पेरिस की जगह लोहे के बना लीजिए, स्टील का बना लीजिए। विसर्जन होने के बाद आप घर में बाल्टी में विसर्जन कर लीजिए, फिर रख दीजिए, अगले साल यूज करिए। वो नहीं हो रहा है भाई, नहीं हो रहा। नहीं जम रहा। So we came out with a concept of artificial tanks. Since 2013, Nagpur Municipal Corporation, Green Vigil Foundation, and a couple of other NGOs, we came out with the idea of artificial tanks. Means huge tanks are being erected by Nagpur Municipal Corporation at the side of the lakes. And we request devotees to immerse your idols in these artificial tanks. पानी है ना इतना बड़ा, rather than immersing in the lake. We also, not only this, second stage जो ग्रीन विजिल इनिशिएटिव लिया कि प्लास्टर ऑफ पेरिस की मूर्तियों को चिन्हित करना. See, it is like this. The idol can be a plaster of Paris, but this cannot be immersed in water body. So there are a huge number of sellers who were fooling devotees by saying, this is of Shalu Mitti, this is of Mitti. But actually those idols were plaster of Paris. So we were not only telling people, don't do this, but we were helping them to identify plaster of Paris idols. There was a massive checking. You can see one gentleman in khaki. He is from NDS, Nuisance Detection Squad of Nagpur Municipal Corporation. Green Vigil Foundation team and Nagpur Municipal Corporation team, along with Nuisance Detection Squad, did rapid checking of idols across the city just to identify which seller is selling POP idol. If you are selling a POP idol, you have to put a banner outside. Ye murti POP ki hai. At least the purchase, at least the devotee should know, yes, I am purchasing a POP idol. At least he should not be fooled. So this is the massive checking of POP idols which we undertook. Initially, for the artificial tank, the response was not good. अरे ये क्या छोटा सा टैंक है भाई, अरे ऐसा थोड़ी होता है यार. हमें ऐसा भी सुनने में आया कि जब कोई लेक में विसर्जन करने जा रहा है, हमारे वॉलंटियर्स रिक्वेस्ट कर रहे हैं, तो उनको बोला गया कि भाई अगर हमारे बप्पा का विसर्जन तालाब में नहीं करने दोगे तो आप परीक्षा में फेल हो जाओगे, आपको श्राप लगेगा. ऑल दिस थिंग्स हैपन. somebody even raised कि भैया आप हमारे फेस्टिवल में आके खड़े हो जाते हो यार. But slowly the idea started picking up. And when the idea started picking up, Nagpur Municipal Corporation started increasing the number of tanks. And finally, I'll give you this year's figure. This year, Nagpur Municipal Corporation has erected 412 artificial tanks across Nagpur city. And there were 12 Nirmalya Rath. This is another new concept. कि आपको तालाब तक भी आने की जरूरत नहीं है. आप बस फोन करिए. जोन वाइज नागपुर इज डिवाइडेड इनटू 10 जोन्स. आप जोन में फोन करिए. जोन से निर्माल्य रथ आपके घर पे आएगा. आप उस पे विसर्जन करिए, विधि सम्मत तरीके से करिए. उसी में टैंक बना हुआ है. आप हमें निर्माल्य दे दीजिए और वो ले आके हम. अब नागपुर म्युनिसिपल कॉर्पोरेशन की ये जो एफर्ट्स है, एंड लेट मी टेल यू, ग्रीन विजिल फाउंडेशन 2010 से 2025 तक 15 साल on 10 days of गणपति विसर्जन, इट्स नॉट फाइनल डे, 10 days, जिस दिन बप्पा बैठे अगले दिन से हमारी पूरी टीम फुटाला लेक पे तैनात रहती है, लोगों को बताने के लिए कि आपके मूर्तियों का विसर्जन तालाब में ना करके आर्टिफिशियल टैंक में करें। 10 दिन 10 घंटे फुटाला लेक, बाकी एनजीओ अलग लेक पे, हम 10 दिन से फुटाला लेक, 15 साल से 10 दिन फुटाला लेक पे ही रहते हैं और कामयाबी मिलती है। अब ये देखिए, ये है आर्टिफिशियल टैंक्स। दिस आर्टिफिशियल टैंक्स कहीं कहीं पे जेसीबी से मिट्टी में गड्ढा किया गया, उसमें तारपोलिन लगा दिया गया, ये कलरफुल, और उसमें पानी भर दिया गया, बन गया आर्टिफिशियल टैंक। कहीं कहीं पे वुडन आर्टिफिशियल टैंक फैब्रिकेट किया गया, कहीं कहीं पे एमएस के आर्टिफिशियल टैंक फैब्रिकेट किए गए, कहीं कहीं पे रबर के आर्टिफिशियल टैंक खड़े किए गए। अब इस फोटो में आप देख सकते हैं कि ग्रीन विजिल के सदस्य हैं, हम विधि सम्मत पूरे पूजा पाठ के साथ मूर्ति का विसर्जन करवाते हैं, निर्माल्या कलेक्ट करते हैं। और खुशी की बात है, पीछे में आप लेक को देखिए, यू विल फाइंड अ टोटली क्लियर लेक।
Yes, yes, absolutely. It's totally clear.
Absolutely.
It's brilliant.
सो लोगों की कितनी सपोर्ट मिलता है, बट यू नीड टू कन्विंस देम, लगे रहना है दोस्त, लगे रहना है। एंड दिस इज द वे वी कलेक्ट द निर्माल्या, दिस इज द निर्माल्या कलश, and people are so cooperative now. You can see the gentleman has come, हमारे शीतल चौधरी, डॉक्टर शीतल चौधरी, शी इज टेकिंग द निर्माल्या, यहां पे हम विसर्जन करा रहे हैं, यहां पे मैं खुद निर्माल्या निकाल रहा हूं। एंड वन मोर थिंग, आई एम वेरी थैंकफुल टू द ऑथोरिटीज ऑफ नागपुर म्युनिसिपल कॉर्पोरेशन, the higher ups, the IS officers, and also to the politicians. See, आपको आइडिया लोगों तक पहुंचाना है। अगर आप सही बोल रहे हैं तो यकीन मानिए लोग सुनेंगे आपकी बात। और यही मैं आपको दिखाना चाहता हूं इस फोटोग्राफ में। फुटाला लेक पे हमारे अभी माननीय कमिश्नर अभिजीत, डॉक्टर अभिजीत चौधरी हमारे साथ आए हैं। नेक्स्ट फोटो में हमारे लास्ट मेयर जो थे दयाशंकर तिवारी जी अपने वाइफ के साथ आए हुए हैं। माननीय अनिल सोले, जिन्हें हम ग्रीन मेयर बोलते हैं नागपुर के, ये फोटो उनके साथ है। माननीय नंदा जिचकार मैडम जो हमारी एक्स मेयर थी। सो ऑल द पॉलिटिशियंस, ऑल द दोज पीपल जो शहर को चलाते हैं, कमिश्नर, डेप्यूटी कमिश्नर, पहले फोटो में डेप्यूटी कमिश्नर माननीय प्रकाश वराडे जी दिख रहे हैं। तो टुगेदर हम लेक्स को, वाटर बॉडीज को बचा सकते हैं। एंड सबसे बड़ी बात, कामयाबी आपके सामने है। इन द ईयर 2024 ड्यूरिंग गणपति विसर्जन 1,65,200 idols were immersed in artificial tanks erected across Nagpur city, and not a single idol were immersed in any of the lake of Nagpur city. और होता क्या है, आर्टिफिशियल टैंक में मूर्तियां जब विसर्जित होती है, हर दिन दूसरे ही दिन से विसर्जन शुरू होगा, तो रात के 2 बजे तक, 1 बजे तक विसर्जन होगा, हम रहेंगे। जैसे ही विसर्जन खत्म होता है, नागपुर म्युनिसिपल कॉर्पोरेशन के जो वाटर सक्शन सिस्टम है वो आ जाता है, पूरे पानी को खींच लेता है और सीधा सीवेज ट्रीटमेंट प्लांट पे ले जाता है ट्रीटमेंट करने के लिए। जो मिट्टी रहता है उस मिट्टी को कलेक्ट किया जाता है और मूर्तिकारों को दिया जाता है रीयूज करने के लिए। व्हाट अ लेवल ऑफ रीयूज। we are doing. मिट्टी मूर्तिकारों को चला गया, सिर्फ जो पीओपी की मूर्ति है जो बायोडिग्रेडेबल नहीं है. Why POP is a problem? Because it doesn't get biodegradable. It's not degradable. आप तालाब में फेंक देंगे, ये कई सालों तक वैसे ही पड़ा रहेगा. इसमें जो पेंट यूज होता है that contains heavy metals. So POP की मूर्तियों को ले जाके हमें क्रश करना पड़ता है, और कोई ऑप्शन हमारे पास है नहीं, जो बाद में रोड मेकिंग में या और कुछ में रीयूज करते हैं. और एक बात आपको मैं बताऊं, नागपुर शायद देश का पहला शहर है जो मोर देन 200 MLD, 200 मिलियन लीटर्स पर डे ट्रीटेड सीवेज को रीयूज कर रहा है. नागपुर के पास में ही थर्मल पावर प्लांट है, कोराडी थर्मल पावर प्लांट. इन नागपुर मोर देन 200 MLD सीवेज आफ्टर ट्रीटमेंट is taken to Koradi thermal power plant for using the treated sewage for the reuse. अगर ये 200 MLD पानी नहीं जाता रोज डेली, तो कितना ज्यादा फ्रेश वाटर की जरूरत थी. सो ये लूप हो गया. Treated sewage goes to Koradi thermal power plant for reuse in the cooling tower. The mud which got dissolved goes to the मूर्तिकार कि अगले बार आप करिए. And the Nirmalya goes for treatment for making compost.
Excellent, excellent.
And not a single murti, not a single idol is immersed in the lake. And this is Times of India. The road, you can see, the Visarjan of Ganesh had an extra green touch this year, as over 1.65 lakh idols were immersed across the city in an eco-friendly manner, reflecting a growing shift towards sustainable practices during the festive season.
Absolutely brilliant. And I think it's just one idea, but it touches so many different parameters. One,
Absolutely,
it keeps the water in your lakes pure. Sorry. It keeps the water pure. It does not harm the biodiversity in your lakes over there. The Nirmalya is there for composting, put to a useful use. There is circularity with the the mud that is collected being remodeled. And there, more than anything else, there is sustainable living. What is Mission Life always wants, that we should adopt sustainable practices. So here is one idea which has led to all these different things, and you are to be congratulated for it. So it's an idea that is innovative. It's an idea that is replicable, because Visarjan is done not just of Ganesh ji, but of Durga Ma and many others also. So this could be replicated in any part of India. So I would like to add a few more ideas that have served in cities. One is in Bombay, where there was an auto rickshaw driver who started seeing that, the plants along the route that he drove his auto rickshaw, they looked very wilted. So he would carry a can of water from home and water these plants. And now that has become a movement when the whole auto rickshaw union of Bombay, they all carry just a can of water. What does it need? Just a can of water. And when he stops to water these plants, his customers ask him, "Ke aap kya kar rahe hain?" And he tells them. So a lot of them want to do the same. It's an idea that has inspired others to do the same. In Indore, they have created artificial lakes, which have helped clean out the water, artificial islands, which have helped clean out the lakes over there. It has provided land to grow naturally, vegetables and fruit, and it has brought back the birds from there. In Calcutta, we had a youngster who he and his friend on holidays would go on their scooter and see wherever the municipal corporation taps had been taken out. You know, the street taps, there are so much, and water was flowing.
Yeah.
So they would put these, other taps over there and tell people that if they continue doing this, there would be no water available for them. In Chennai, there are so many corporations that are planting along the ramparts of the flyovers that are there. So there are so many different ideas that people have, which have very beneficial, effects. So we want the youngsters, think about it. It is your future. Don't bother about me. My life, maybe another 10 years or 15 years at my age. But you are young. You have a huge span of life over there. Think about yourself and come out with ideas which are replicable so that others can do the same, and ideas which have good results. It does not have to be rocket science. It's just an idea that is needed. So if the youth would like to send in their entries, the QR code is right here. Please use this QR code to get more details. The last date is the end of February, 28th of February. So hurry up and send in your entries, and good wishes to each one for bringing out your brilliance so that all of humanity will benefit. Kaustav, you are such an inspiring leader. I have seen you for so many years and I know the brilliance of your ideas. That is what is totally inspiring, that yours are just ideas, but they don't remain ideas. They are put to use. And you show others how to replicate things, like your Purnima Divas. Every city in India can do that. Why don't they do it? It is so simple. You're not buying moonlight. You're getting it free. Why not put it to good use? Every city in India can use your Visarjan method. I love the fact that you bring your ruts to the houses so that people don't have to make that extra effort also to go anywhere. Just to add one more thing, there's a school in Daud in Maharashtra where what they've done was that students over there started making these Ganesh idols out of clay, and they convinced their parents to use them. And the extra
Yeah.
idols that they made, they gifted them to people and they said, use these. Because as you said, a lot of people don't know the harm of POP. So that is also important, to increase information about POP. Why is it harmful? A lot of people don't know this.
Yeah.
Talking about trees, there are youngsters in cities who are doing research on the species of trees that should be planted or have been historically planted in those cities instead of bringing in invasive species. Because sometimes we have a tendency to bring in invasive species which are not good for that city.
Like
So we
Subabul, we made a blunder by getting Subabul to India.
Absolutely, absolutely. So they have done the research. I think so much information is now available on your typing tips, as I say, very different from my generation where you had to sit in the library and go through encyclopedias. So I appeal to all of you, please come out with your brilliant ideas and help save humanity and save Earth. Thank you very much for being with us. And my colleague Vinayak is also here. He's traveling at the moment. So if your train is not too bumpy, Vinayak, would you like to say something? Or are
Yeah,
you
I would
too?
like to thank. I can. Uh, Hello, am I audible?
Yes. Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
you're audible. You're
Yeah, yeah,
audible. Yeah.
yeah. So I just want like to thank you again, Kaustavji, and thank you, ma'am, for the inspiring our youth. and this webinar is like especially dedicated for the Young Climate Champion program. The link is in chat box. So all the youth who is listening these ideas, you might get other ideas and some relevant ideas that how these ideas can be like relevant to you and in your city, and how you and your group of like-minded people can do work for our environment and our planet. So
I think Vinayak
please
is in a
apply
tree.
with your ideas in a huge
Thank you,
platform.
Vinayak. Great to have
Yeah, so
youth
my
like this. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Kaustav. It's such a pleasure always listening to you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you all for being with us, and we look forward to getting your entries. It costs nothing. It costs just some thinking. That's all. Okay. Bye-bye then. Thank you.